Now, it's typically heart, and it needs to be ruled out before you probably consider any other organ. The other ones that can be involved are kidneys, gallbladder, and possibly spleen. If the person has anxiety and it's heart and kidneys, it's going to have a lot of other stuff rolling with it as well. It's going to have fear-based things, phobias, panic attacks, what they call hypervigilance, which is someone constantly stimulating their fight or flight or freeze because they're constantly on edge because they're looking around for threats, perceived threats. So the heart and kidney anxiety has got a lot of extra stuff straddled to the anxiety. It's an inconsistent emotion because it has excess parts to it. It has deficiency parts and stagnant parts. The main patterns are heart and possibly some other ones there, and we'll go through them each one at a time so we don't need to stay on this slide. So heart blood deficiency and heart and gallbladder qi deficiency are probably the more mild versions of anxiety. With blood deficiency, there'll be anxiety that's mild with insomnia, palpitations, poor memory, dizziness, those types of things. They might not have even called it anxiety unless they've got that label from somewhere. The gallbladder added to it adds in the timidity, the shyness, withdrawing from society, people-pleasing, sighing, indecisive. You can see that cycle with that gallbladder being added in. And it's worse than the heart blood deficiency because it's two organs and they're both deficient. So there's extra work required there. With the heart and kidney yin deficiency, it's chronic and it's straddled with severe phobias, panic attacks, as I said, hypervigilance. There's lots of things happening there, probably really quite severe insomnia as well. With the phlegm fire harassing the heart, it's acute and chronic anxiety straddled with psychotic behaviour. So you may never see this type of patient. They just may never come to your clinic because they either don't get any treatment for their psychosis or they're going to a doctor, general practitioner, or counselling of some type. Yeah, so I have had the odd patient that has come in with that pattern, but not too many. So what could we do here? Now, we're not always going to have, yeah, that's right, they may do that too. They may go to the ER as well. So I've got Do 20 and Yin Tang again, but I won't have them every time just because I like that combination. I'm not designing these point combinations as my design exclusively. They are a combination of my designs, my experience, but also research. Lots and lots of research, books, clinical trials, peers, suggestions, conferences and workshops that I've attended. So it's a combination of a lot of things. It's also, as I said, my own clinical experience. Now with this one, it's face up. And again, apart from the Do 20 Yin Tang being the Shen calming, I've also added in from the last one, which was anger. I had Ren 14 and 17. I've added in Ren 15 as well. I like 14, 15 and 17 together because the three of them are like a triumvirate of energy that swarms the heart and the Shen and the pericardium. And if you think about the pericardium being, well, in Chinese medicine, the heart is called Xin, X-I-N, and the pericardium is X-I-N-B-A-O, so Xin Bao. So it's translated as heart's embrace. So the pericardium wraps the heart, which we know from a Western perspective, but from a Chinese perspective, it's perfect because it wraps the heart, and it wraps the heart to protect it because the pericardium is the heart's bodyguard. Let's not forget that obviously the heart is the emperor and it needs protection. And so it's the heart's bodyguard, but it is also the court jester. And so it makes the heart laugh and be happy. And so it's something that I consider to be very important, to not just do the heart, but also to do the heart's embrace, or pericardium. I've also got, obviously, heart and pericardium points. There's no leg points this time. Again, I've got a good connection because I've still got something head, trunk, arms, but there's no reason why you couldn't add in some leg points. And that would really depend on your overall diagnosis. So if the kidneys were involved, then you'd add in kidney points, maybe kidney 3, kidney 6. If the spleen's involved, maybe you'd do spleen 3, spleen 6. I know that they're both the same numbers, but they are both very good points down low on those channels. Okay. Joy. Now, joy is an interesting one because most people probably don't think there's anything wrong with joy. And look, to be honest, I like being joyful. I think probably the word that we should use that's perhaps more balanced than joy would be feeling contented, at peace. Joy itself is the most yang emotion that we have, believe it or not. It's even more than anger. And so what happens is if we strive to be joyful all the time, we cannot sustain that. And so we do a number of things. We either fall off it into possible depression, we either try to maintain the rage, and so we start to take stimulants to keep it going. So that could be something as potentially harmless as coffee or caffeine, or cigarettes will stimulate adrenaline, which will give you energy, or we could step it up a notch into stimulants that are illegal even. And that leads into things like mania and other terms that would be defined as being, I guess, excessive joy. So there's nothing wrong with being joyful, but it's like any emotion, we should phase in and out of all emotions. So it's a very addictive emotion that tends to want to display itself at every possible opportunity. Now, if it's diseased, it's usually termed as someone who's overexcited, addicted, agitated, restless, mentally stimulated, manic, or hypervigilant. Or they fall into a deficiency and they get depressed and sad. Or as someone's mentioned here, euphoria. Hypervigilant, again, was that one I was talking about where you look constantly on the lookout for perceived threats, so you're up all the time. The likely emotions for this are heart fire blazing, phlegm fire in the heart, or deficiencies. So we'll look at these one at a time. Conscious I've got to keep moving here with my little blueprint over here. So heart fire blazing, they're loud, funny, great salesman, draws a crowd, incredibly entertaining, but they're harmless for the most part. Depends on how long they stay in that fire blazing and whether it shifts into anything more extreme, of course. But they're very entertaining people. The phlegm fire starts to add a whole other level of issue. Someone's just said, yeah, I know, that can be non-pathological. I mean, you look at that person and you go, what's wrong with them? That's not unfair. The phlegm fire adds in a whole other level because now there's it's much more toxic, gluggy mess. So they're agitated, their speech is incoherent, they can hit or scold people, uncontrolled laughter or crying, potentially want to maim, injure or kill. So the joy's turned into a manic kind of phase. Whereas these ones are deficiencies. And so we're looking at things like they strive for joy, but they fall below the mark. And so they're typically more depressed than joyful. And then with blood deficiency, it's usually worse than Chi deficiency. So that's typically a bit more chronic. And some of the signs and symptoms would be different as well. So trying to get a balance there with excesses and deficiencies in one treatment is difficult. And you may want to sub some points out and bring other points in. It is looking at working on settling the joy addiction. So whether they're excess or deficient, It's just balancing it all out, because even if they're deficient in this diagnosis, they still want to be joyful all the time, and that's still an imbalance. And so we're looking at trying to create a harmony here. So we've got some that'll settle any big addiction, acute joy addictions, and if they're not particularly like that, as I said, you may choose to leave those ones out, add in some new ones. It's entirely up to you. This is a hypothetical. This is a point combination that would be perfect at certain points in time, but may not apply in every instance. And so again, we're looking at a Shen-based thing and a heart-based thing, because joy is predominantly a fire element and heart-based pathology.